What if the most important question ever asked was not about the universe, not about God, not about the meaning of life, but about you? 3,000 years ago, carved into the stone of a Greek temple at Delphi, were just two words that launched Western philosophy, two words that Socrates built his entire life around, two words that remarkably, three of the greatest civilizations in human history arrived at independently, separated by thousands of miles and thousands of years. Those two words, know thyself. Today we are going to explore what that means through the eyes of ancient Greece, through the wisdom of Confucius and Lao Tzu, and through the most profound answer ever given to that question, from the ancient forests of India. Stay with me, because what the sages of India discovered will genuinely astonish you. In 399 BC, a man stood trial in Athens. He was accused of corrupting the youth and impiety toward the gods. He was 70 years old, barefoot as always, wearing his simple robe. He had no great wealth, no political power, no army behind him. What he had was a question. His name was Socrates, and the question he carried, the one he asked everyone he met, from generals to poets to politicians, was this: do you actually know what you think you know? Socrates had built his entire philosophical life around a single insight, one that came to him from the oracle at Delphi herself. When the oracle declared that no man was wiser than Socrates, he was baffled. He went around Athens questioning everyone considered wise, politicians, poets, craftsmen. And what he found astonished him. Every one of them thought they knew things they did not actually know. And so Socrates arrived at perhaps the most radical conclusion in the history of philosophy. I know that I know nothing. This was not false modesty. This was not intellectual performance. This was the beginning of true wisdom. Because the man who thinks he knows everything has closed the door to learning. But the man who knows he knows nothing, that man is finally ready to begin. The oracle's instruction, know thyself, was not an invitation to catalog your personality traits or understand your childhood. It was something far more radical. It was an invitation to question everything you think you are. And that question echoed far beyond Greece. At almost exactly the same time that Socrates was walking the streets of Athens, across thousands of miles of ocean and mountains, a Chinese philosopher was teaching his students something remarkably similar. His name was Confucius, and he said this: to know what you know and what you do not know, that is true knowledge. Read that again slowly. To know what you know and what you do not know. Confucius understood something that we forget constantly in our modern world: that the most dangerous person is not the one who knows nothing. It is the one who does not know what they do not know. We live in an age of instant opinions, confident conclusions, and loud certainties. But Confucius was pointing to something quieter and infinitely more powerful: the discipline of honest self-assessment. Look at yourself clearly. Know your strengths without exaggerating them. Know your weaknesses without hiding them. Know the edges of your understanding, and have the humility to stop there. His contemporary Lao Tzu, the father of Taoism, took this even further. Knowing others is intelligence. Knowing yourself is true wisdom. Mastering others is strength. Mastering yourself is true power. Notice what Lao Tzu is saying: intelligence, wisdom, strength, power. These are not four separate things. They are a ladder, and every rung of that ladder leads inward, not outward. The Taoist path to wisdom was not found in conquering the world. It was found in the quiet, honest, sometimes uncomfortable practice of turning the gaze inward. Socrates said, "Question what you know." Confucius said, "Be honest about what you do not know." Both were preparing us for what the Indian sages were about to reveal. In the ancient forests of India, thousands of years ago, a group of sages sat in deep contemplation. They were not interested in politics or power or wealth. They were interested in one question only. What is the self? Not who am I? My name, my role, my reputation. But what am I at the deepest, most fundamental level? And what they discovered, recorded in the ancient texts known as the Upanishads, is perhaps the most extraordinary insight in the history of human thought. They called it Tvam Asi. 3 Sanskrit words, 3 of the most profound words ever spoken. Tvam Asi. Thou art that. You, the one asking the question, are the very thing you are seeking. The self you are looking for is not a small, separate, isolated individual trapped inside a body. The self, your deepest, truest self, is the universal consciousness that underlies all of existence. The Bhagavad Gita puts it this way: the self is not born, nor does it die. It is eternal, ancient, and unslain. When the body is slain, the self is not. Socrates told us to look inward. Confucius told us to look honestly. The Upanishadic sages looked all the way to the bottom, and what they found there was not a small personal self. What they found was everything. And here is what stops me in my tracks every time I sit with these 3 traditions. They never met each other. Socrates never read the Upanishads. Confucius never visited Athens. The sages of the forest never heard of the oracle at Delphi. And yet, they all arrived at the same place. Look inward. Question what you think you know. Be honest about your ignorance. And if you look deeply enough, past the ego, past the personality, past the roles and the masks and the stories you tell about yourself, you will find something that cannot be named, cannot be owned, and cannot be lost. The Greeks called it the examined life. The Chinese called it true wisdom. The Indians called it Atman, the eternal self. One truth, 3 voices, 3 paths leading to the same summit. Know thyself, not as an instruction to analyze your personality, but as an invitation, the greatest invitation ever extended to a human being, an invitation to discover what you actually are. If this resonated with you, if something in you recognized the truth in these ancient words, then you are already on the path. Subscribe to One Truth, Many Voices, where every week we sit with the greatest minds of Greece, India, and China, and listen for the one truth that runs beneath all their words. The journey has just begun, and as Socrates would say, the unexamined life is not worth living. See you next week.